Fox News alert. Overnight, the Taliban seizing its 10th provincial capital in Afghanistan and a police headquarters. The militant group now reportedly controls 65% of Afghanistan. As a U.S. official warns the country capital, Kabul, could be taken within 90 days. It's the gray area on the map you're looking at. Arkansas GOP Senator Tom Cotton fought in the infantry, served in Afghanistan, joins us right now. Senator, I know you're not for endless war, but I don't think the American people thought in 90 days a capital would fall that we helped build up for 10 years, for 20 years.
Yeah, Brian, these are very alarming developments in Afghanistan over the last week. The Biden administration assured us that they had a plan for an orderly and structured withdrawal that would allow the Afghan government to stand up to the Taliban. And as you said, we saw the 10th capital fall overnight. That's the 10th capital in just a few days. It goes to show the kind of slapdash, disorganized planning that went into this withdrawal. And it raises real questions about President Biden's plan to defend our #1 interest in Afghanistan, which has been for 20 years to prevent it from becoming a safe haven for terrorists that they can use to strike against the United States or our citizens around the world.
Yeah, and by the way, we know the Taliban aren't going to attack us, but they allow other terror groups to thrive amongst them and to perpetrate attacks. And we know what they were capable of doing 20 years ago. And now with the technology, it harkens to think what they were capable of doing now. So this finally came up at the press conference. Jen Psaki reacting to the remarkable progress the Taliban are making. Listen.
The Afghan National Security Defense Forces have the equipment, numbers, and training to fight back. They have what they need. What they need to determine is if they have the political will to fight back and if they have the ability to unite as leaders to fight back. The Taliban also has to make an assessment about what they want their role to be in the international community.
So let's let them fight, but they're going to lose, and the Taliban will be in charge, so we'll have plenty of time to evacuate the embassy. By the way, the polls show that we're not for endless war. We get it. But the American people ranks terrorism as 1 or 2 as the thing they care about most. That symbolizes terrorist activity. Your thoughts, Senator?
Yeah, I don't think General Psaki is going to inspire many of the troops to go out and charge into battle with statements like that. And again, the fact that the Biden administration did not predict this, and by some reports, all the way up to President Biden, are surprised and shaken by the number of capitals that have been falling, suggests that they don't have a plan to continue counter-terrorist operations in Afghanistan. I can tell you, as a member of the Armed Services Intelligence Committee, I have not heard those plans. I've not heard how they're going to get the cooperation of some pretty unfriendly nations that surround Afghanistan to help support counterterrorism operations. And as you said, Brian, the Taliban may not launch attacks against the United States, but what they did in the late 1990s leading up to 2001 is that they allowed al-Qaeda to operate freely inside of Afghanistan, to plan and to operate until they struck us on 9/11. And Afghanistan still has the largest concentration of foreign terrorist organizations in the world, all of which would love to kill Americans.
On the political front here, unrelated, you got a little bit of progress. The Senate passed Tom Cotton's amendment preventing federal funds from promoting CRTs in school. As a Virginia teacher, as you saw, quit. So, Senator, people listened. They actually you got support for this?
Yeah, we did, Brian. A majority of the Senate passed a bill that would prohibit federal funds from being used to indoctrinate children with critical race theory. I think that's very significant because so many Americans are opposed to the un-American principles of critical race theory, that the most important thing about us is our race, or that some races are inherently privileged, others inherently victimized. But it was the thinnest majority possible, 50 to 49. And all 49 of those Democrats are going to have to answer at the ballot box, some of them as early as next year, about why they think your tax dollars should go to indoctrinate children to think America is a racist nation.
Senator, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Talk to you again soon.